Welcome, I'm so glad you all could join me. I'm Chava and you're watching Ask a Midwife. Hi everyone, my name is Chava Ben-Sion and I'm a licensed midwife as well as a doula. I'm originally from California. I've been in Israel for about 12 years and I've had a really interesting experience and I want to share it with you. So in California, I served a lot of first-time moms. A lot of professionals in their early 30s were having their first babies. So I got a lot of experience with first-time moms, second-time moms, but not a whole lot of experience with women who have had many babies. By many, I mean 5, 6, on up to, use your imagination. So there's something that I've noticed as I'm interacting with more women who have had these higher number of babies. They always express these feelings to me, and I realize that most everyone is expressing a similar kind of feeling, and everyone who's expressing it is feeling like they're the only ones who are feeling it. I want to make a little testament to this emotional, dynamic that's happening with a woman, with a lot of women, not everyone, who's having a high number baby. So basically, what women are confiding in me is that, wow, Chava, it's like, I feel like everyone thinks this is supposed to be easier, but in fact, it's much harder and I'm even more scared. I feel like everyone is giving me the impression that I shouldn't be scared because I've had so many babies. It's like, you know how to do this. You just go and have the baby. It's like nothing to it. You just, you've done this 8 times, you've done this 9 times, you've done this 12 times. Just, you know how to do it. And the feeling that I'm getting from the women is that, in fact, all that sort of encouragement is actually backfiring, and that they're even more scared and they don't feel like they have a right to be, or they feel like something's wrong with them. But in fact, a lot of women feel this way. So I've really thought about why and talked to a lot of women. And after living here 12 years, I've been so fortunate to be able to serve so many women who have big families, who have large families. And I feel like after talking with them, the sentiment is like, I've been so blessed to have so many births. I have 7 beautiful children, or I have 10 beautiful children, and I've had good birth experiences for the most part. How in the world, how is it that my luck is going to hold out? How could I be so fortunate to yet again have another healthy birth, another healthy baby? I feel like it's almost like women are scared that their luck's going to run out. So when they hear me say, you know what, I've heard that from a lot of women, they're like, oh, you have? Like, I thought that this is just me. I'm like, no, it's not just you. You're really so normal. And I think that there are women who each birth they get better at it. Each birth they get less afraid. Each birth they feel like they have more, if not control, because control is not a great word to use with birth, but they just have more, they're more settled with the whole process and what's going to happen, and the idea that it's going to be intense for a while, and whatever it is, whatever birth means for them. But a lot of, I would say more than half, it's safe to say, have this feeling that they've shared with me, which is they're afraid of the pain. They're feeling more tired than ever. They have, they're anxious. There's a lot of anxiety. And I have talked in many conversations, and just knowing that other people are also feeling the same way really, really relieves them. And also saying that, it's okay to feel nervous. It's okay to feel a little bit anxious. And then we try to figure out ways to counteract the anxiety. And a lot of ways is to just try to get out of our heads. Because when we get into our heads about these kind of things, we all know where that goes. So trying to get into the body, using massage and breathing and relaxation and maybe some homeopathy or Bach flower, or just kind of laughing, and I try to just be fluid and organic with whatever I'm doing with the client. But I feel like so many women are feeling this way, and they all seem to think that it's just them, because the world really does give you the impression, like, if they don't say, well, yeah, it's like, you've done this 12 times, like, how could you be worried, or how could you not know how to give birth, or how could you even be concerned about this or that? And then there's that coupled with, well, what did you expect? I mean, your back hurts? Well, you're having your 9th kid. It's like, what did you expect? So there's kind of like a lack of empathy that is really triggering for these women, because it's like so many women feel like, especially when they've had, maybe 4 or 5 kids and had a break, and then they're having their first child after maybe like 3 or 4 years, there's also a kind of a feeling like they're having their first baby again. So it's almost like it adds insult to injury when people aren't, sensitive to the fact that, like, every birth is unique, in that it's always the first of that birth. There's never like, oh yeah, I've done this before. Because in truth, the pregnancy embodies the idea of, like, how is this going to happen? And the birth is really all about, how is this happening? And after the birth, the postpartum period, is really a lot about, how did this happen? There's never like one moment where you're like, oh, okay, that's what's happening. It's just really a miraculous event. And I think that we have to do justice to the women in our community, in our world, in our lives, that are giving birth to many babies, and give them the respect and the honor due a person who is having. Each birth is an event to be honored and to be respected, and you can also feel a little bit afraid about each event, and that's okay too. It's a healthy reverence for the process. So hopefully that helps some of you who have been feeling this way, and hopefully it helps others of you who don't know that this is a thing. So talk to you next time.